Hello, this is Austin from the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast, and you are listening to the BS Podcast Network.
Hey, this is Susan Egan, Broadway's original Belle in Beauty and the Beast and the voice of Megara in Disney's Hercules. And you're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Wonder Boys, Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee. And they are a real slice.
Jumbo, everyone!
Harambe!
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way!
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast.
They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante San, everyone. You are listening to the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff, and this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us for this episode. We are continuing Professor X's series with the Ghosts of Christmas Present. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
And on this show, we follow the Disney concept of edutainment, where we focus on your entertainment, and along the way, you just might learn a thing or two.
Hey.
And as always, to join in our discussion, we have a resident comic genius from ivorycomics.com, Mr. Eli Ivory. Sup, dude?
What's happening with you?
Not much, bruh.
What's going on with you and your peoples?
Yeah.
Word.
What's up?
All that.
His house.
What? Whose house?
Ron's house.
There it is.
Oh, speaking of into his house, that voice you just heard is our resident travel agent from Magical Moments Vacations and Shaggy TA, Lee Lasavica, and I can reach out and touch him.
Please don't.
You got to get the full service, Lee. You're here in person.
6 foot rule.
Kevin sees Lee and it's like, oh, look, it's the Pillsbury Doughboy. I bet you if I just poke him in the belly, he'll go, hoo-hoo.
I'm like an Oreo.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good to be here.
Yeah,
Been a
welcome
while,
back. It's
man.
been a while. I don't remember. I think it was the beginning of the year is the last time you were in
It's been
studio.
a while, man. I mean, maybe January, I think, was the last time I was in town.
I think you're right.
We've been through a lot since then.
I know, and we spared no expense on dinner.
I know,
to make
man.
Sure.
I made the rounds this week. I went to Bon Me Boys.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Acropolis. Went to Firehouse Subs. So, yeah, my New Orleans tour is
Experience?
complete.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Your Metri tour.
Metro. I was in Kenner most of the time, so that'll
Kennebra tour.
tell you what that's about.
That's right, Kennebra.
Even the Chick-fil-A in Kenner sucks. It's not a good place if you want to find,
A good chicken
dining.
sandwich?
Oh, cool. And look, also on today's show, we have, once again, our longtime Mohican, Listener X, Keith, on our show, now known as Professor X. How you doing, sir?
Hey guys, how are you? I'm feeling left out. I'm not in New Orleans with you.
Well, come on down. There's one in the garage.
It's been a while for you, too.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm stuck being quarantined for 14 days, so it might be a little bit.
Oh, you got the COVID?
No, I went out of state and came back into Pennsylvania, and now I'm quarantined.
Where'd you go?
Delaware.
Oh,
so
well,
the
that's
next
a
state
problem.
over.
You know Delaware, how they are over there.
That's a real hot spot
Yeah,
here.
you got to watch out for those Delawareans.
Yeah.
Delawareans.
That's that.
I wonder if there's Rastafarian Delawareans.
Oh, that.
Probably so.
What if there was a Rastafarian librarian? Delawarean.
Yeah, mine Ararian.
Feeding the fish in her aquarium.
Well, Mohicans, ladies and gentlemen, it is the holiday season, and just to remind you, we do have an Amazon store in which you can buy books, movies, recording gear, pretty much anything that we would recommend right there on Amazon.com/shop/Magic Our Way. Today, as I stated at the top of the show, we are discussing the Ghost of Christmas Present, and I will toss it over to Keith to give you a little tease about what you're about to hear. Keith, let her rip.
Well, today we're going to talk about basically anything if you fly down to Orlando right now and headed to Disney World that you can basically find in the parks, with a little bit of history thrown in there and a couple little surprises along the way as well.
Excellent, man. So look, enough of our jibber jabber. Let's go discuss some Christmas present magic.
Okay, gentlemen, as we continue our journey through the history of Christmas at Disney World, first let's take a step back and let's think about how the parks basically get decorated for Christmas. So it used to be in the early days of Christmas decorating at Disney World, it was all done in one night. So basically, Thanksgiving night would see the Magic Kingdom transferred to a place with garland posts, ribbons, wreaths, animated shop windows, and towering fir trees. However, as we know, basically Christmas now starts way earlier than that thanks to the Mickey's Very Merry. So I think it's now, as soon as Halloween's over and the last pumpkin is put away, they're transferring right over to Christmas.
Right after 4th of July.
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah. I actually did a holiday tour in the mid-2000s, around 2005. I believe it was called Utide Splendor. And basically, they have a whole warehouse pretty much kind of near Fort Wilderness area. And they have a whole responsible team. Actually, it's called the Walt Disney World Holiday Service Team. And they're responsible for over 780 locations and 41 different properties, basically, which includes the parks, the resorts, Disney Springs, and other areas as well. And they have 119 full staff, which basically year-round staff, which basically they're constantly fixing decorations that were basically broken after the holiday period and thinking of like new holiday decorations as well.
And so how many staff do they have now? 5?
Yeah, exactly. The holiday decorations are a little skimpy, but
Oh, really? I heard that they were plentiful. They're not?
they're plentiful. I'm
good.
Kidding.
They just only have 5 people to do the whole job.
Yeah, no kidding.
Y'all getting overtime, buddy.
They driving over to the Lowe's. We need 5 of you.
Amigo. Mira, amigo.
Trabajo. Actually, no, they just grabbed one of those buses that they used to take people around.
the Magical Express buses they're not using anymore.
Yeah.
Right, the ones that are sitting empty, they basically just throw the holiday decorations in there and drive it on over to the parks.
There you go.
There you go.
Actually, it actually takes more than that. When I actually was in that warehouse, that was part of the tour, they actually have the trees basically fully assembled and basically already decorated. It's literally a matter of just taking a crane, pretty much putting it on a flatbed truck and pretty much driving it over, and then it's in the behind-scenes area, and just overnight, they just erect everything.
Wow.
Wow, I'm erect.
Yeah, not like getting erect overnight.
So how many people had to help you with that, Lee?
Just one little pill. One little pill is all it took.
How many guys from Lowe's?
Mira, amigo. Trabajo.
Pelotas.
Yeah. Try behind this.
So now you were actually in this warehouse, huh, Keith?
Yeah, actually, it was it's pretty cool. Like you see, now I was there in I forget what time frame it was, but basically, like everything was pretty much. They have drawers and drawers of just like balls and lights and all that, and pretty much if anything breaks, they pretty much can fix it right away, and they just have everything like. Pretty much everything's almost pre-assembled, and they just truck on over, pretty much when the holiday's ready to start.
Yeah, I mean, remember we did a show on that. We haven't released that show yet. The Weird Jobs of Disney.
Oh, it's true. Yeah,
that's right.
That's in the bank.
Future show now.
Yeah, and so it's one of those things where there's one person that's their main job is to buy all the supplies that they need to do all the Christmas decorating.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool job. Now, Keith, we know of the time of year that this takes place, right? When that transition takes place, and you were down there for a specific reason, which we had you on the show before. Why would you have been down there?
Well, I was basically visiting the parks,
during
experiencing the Disney magic.
What time of year?
Well, it was during Thanksgiving.
Yes.
But they still had holidays. They still had trees and stuff in the warehouses because they don't they're decorated. Everything doesn't happen overnight.
Like it used to.
It seems like it.
Well, Epcot kind of starts their celebration a little bit because of food and wine, but I think it's slowly they kind of keep decorating, and then one resort might get decorated first and then kind of another resort. And speaking of resorts, have you guys ever been down to the parks during the holidays, and have you ever purposely went to a resort just to check out the holiday decoration?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
To your point though, I was going to say, the Contemporary, we were there 2 days before Thanksgiving, and they already had that giant gingerbread, the Small World thing that they have up there where they sell gingerbread out of. That was already there.
I remember traveling to the parks during Thanksgiving, because I used to do that every so often. And I remember Thursday Thanksgiving, I go to Magic Kingdom, there's nothing there. And then Friday after Thanksgiving, I'll go down Main Street, and it's all the stuff's hanging across. I'm like, that's awesome.
I mean, I'm sure it's like anything else. You decorate your house, right? You put all the lights up and and then you're like a week later, hey babe, look what I found at Target, and it's like
right.
you just add to it,
you just keep adding,
adding and adding. It's like, oh look, I went over to Lowe's and they had this on sale. I bought this so and so. So I'm sure it's the same way. Like they find stuff or they add stuff throughout. I mean, they got to put up the big front, I would imagine, right away, and then little things get added here and there.
Now here's a real quick sad story. Don't go to visiting the resorts on January 1st or January 2nd. So one year I went to the Grand Floridian, I believe it was like January 2nd. They literally just took that massive gingerbread house in the Grand Floridian. They literally just took it out, and I could see like basically where they had the tape down to protect the carpets, and you could see the gingerbread crumbs that were basically left. Like they literally just removed it.
How did it taste?
That's what I was thinking.
Get off the floor, they were going, "Hey, what crumbs can I get?"
I'm imagining like this year they'll keep it up a little longer and they'll let the furloughed cast members live in there.
That's not right.
That's damn.
It's a ginger duplex.
I heard
Ginger homeless shelter.
I heard that when it's over, like they take the gingerbread house to a tree farm, and they let the honeybees like go ahead and lick it clean.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, actually.
What?
That's what I heard. I don't know, Keith?
Well, part of it's made of wood, so I mean, they would probably have to take it apart in various pieces, but
Termites.
That's what I was
They
thinking.
feed it to the termites.
Termites and bees.
They take it over to Bug's Life.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That's right.
we'll go with that. We'll go with that story, Dan.
No, but
Yeah.
I think I've read that before too. That's with the bees.
Grand Floridian is like really the most beautiful resort. Like, yeah, like to answer Keith's question from before, like, yeah, I think I've probably stayed at 5 or 6. No, that's probably overstating it. Maybe at least 4 to 5 of these resorts during Christmas and seen it. And then there was another time where we, just one time on a whim, like the parks were crowded. And we're like, let's just hop the first bus and take a look at this resort and that resort, because each of them, they decorate their trees using stuff like it
pertains to the resort.
Yeah, it's themed to a resort. Like if you go to the Polynesian, I remember this because that was one of the last places we were at. They had like lays in the trees, the
Pork.
Hawaiian flowers, pineapples. Now I don't know about pork.
Spam. Spam.
Spam and eggs? Yes. You got some spam and eggs?
Fry that up.
They had hey at the top. It was
Oh, I want hey at the top of my tree. I have Mickey at the top of my tree right now, but I wouldn't mind a little hey at the top. Or in there, maybe. I don't know.
you wouldn't mind a little hey period, right?
Anyway, where were we?
Well, to your point, Danny, the resorts that are more expensive, the deluxes, they get more elaborate Christmas decorations, which makes sense. And then you go to the All-Stars, and you're lucky if you get, one Christmas tree thrown in the corner with some lights or whatever.
You got the Tiny Tim tree.
Damn, that's cool, huh?
They can only shop the day after Christmas.
They got like a whole Christmas light. All the lights are out except one bulb that works. That's all they get.
And
That's
it blinks.
cool. Yeah, barely, yeah.
It barely blinks. And it doesn't blink on purpose. It flickers because it's about to go out.
Knocks the power out the rest of the resort.
We're all stars, man. That's terrible.
And speaking of Christmas trees, I actually did some research, and I found a little bit of some interesting backstory. So I'm kind of going to jump back in time just a little bit, and I'm going to talk about the type of Disney World trees that they had in the 70s, specifically at the Magic Kingdom. So in the 1970s, they used live trees. So each year it would kind of vary. Like one year, I guess kind of like the Rockefeller tree. Like one year it would be a tall tree, and then next year it would kind of be a fat tree or kind of whatever. And the trees were taken from Mount Shasta in California, and they actually trucked the trees all the way to Florida.
Love their sodas.
Mount Fanta? What'd you say?
Shasta.
Oh, Shasta.
Shasta.
I've been to that mountain, actually, oddly enough.
Have you really?
Yeah, Shasta. That's crazy.
Do you see some missing Christmas trees there?
I
Cut
did,
down.
yeah. I was like, man, something's wrong with this landscape, and I can't put my finger on it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So the trees were put up with a crane, and in 72 through 75, they had the tree lying there, and it was in the parking lot behind Carousel of Progress. They trimmed the trees, they cut off some branches, and then they kind of reattached it to make the tree look better than it actually was.
Reattach the branches back to the tree that they cut off, you said?
Yeah, kind of like the Bionic Man. They put them back together.
Ah, okay, cool.
Well, like we got the tape. We can put it back together.
Somebody get me the staple gun.
Hurry up.
Gaff tape solves all.
The branches are falling.
That's kind of neat. All right.
Ah, that's very neat.
Kind of like I said before, so the trees would then appear like Thanksgiving night, you wouldn't see the tree, and then the day after Thanksgiving, basically the tree would be put up. So, and the trees were put in town square, and they would have smaller trees on both sides, kind of near Cinderella Castle, and the lights would kind of change year after year. And the interesting thing is, in 1971, now I had to research this because I didn't know what this was, but have you ever guys heard of, and I'm going to say this very carefully so you don't kind of change the wording of it, you ever hear of a flocking tree?
Flock, yes.
Let's get the flock out of here. Yes, I used
What
to.
the flock?
I used to work at a Christmas tree lot a long time ago.
Yeah, I know flock
So
trees.
yeah, I know the flock trees. I flocked a tree before.
You flocked a tree?
Yeah, they called me back too.
I didn't know what that was. Apparently, it's they cover it with like fake snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
That's,
No. It's like when a mommy goose and a daddy goose love each other very much, and they decide to have baby geese, they get to flocking.
I thought you were gonna say it was a flock of seagulls. That's
Oh,
what
you can do that. You can do that too.
That's all right. No,
So okay, wait, for real. Like you've never heard of a flock tree? Is that like maybe like a southern thing that we do down here,
Well,
or
maybe because you guys don't get snow. I had to research this. I didn't know what it was.
no, I've done that. I've actually flocked a tree.
that's what I'm saying? Like maybe it's a southern thing. 'cause you're right. We
I
don't
was
get
about to
snow
say,
down
I'm
here.
pretty
so.
confident that it is because like we don't get snow down here, so we have to mimic snow-covered trees and make sure that it doesn't melt.
Yeah, but that's what I was gonna say. Like, it doesn't make any sense because like the tree would go inside the house. So
Yes. But
Yeah.
the flock stays on the tree. It doesn't like flake
No.
off.
I know.
Yeah.
I've walked by there as a tent, and I've always looked at those people like, why the are they covering this in styrofoam?
Yeah,
There's probably asbestos in there.
Danny's like, here's my card. Here's my card.
Need
You're
this.
gonna need this in a few years.
Yeah, I always have concerns about whatever they use to flock it. That's why I never bought it. I'm like,
But I just like don't want to deal with the mess. It's got to be a huge like.
Oh,
mess
it
in
is.
your
They
house.
have like
Oh,
a
it's terrible.
huge tent for that purpose.
yeah,
but
but just white stuff all over the house.
But it's fun. It's fun. You spray it all over the place.
But I mean, if you're gonna have synthetic snow, why not just have a fake tree?
Ah, that's true.
No, that's true.
I just never realized that wasn't like an all around thing. Like
Now, this is the first time I heard of it, so I guess maybe it's not a thing or it was a 70s thing or whatever, but yeah.
no,
No. It still goes on.
I,
Too.
that
I
happens.
saw a Christmas tree yard by me that has some flock trees.
All right, well, up north they don't do that, so interesting.
Yeah, that's because they don't need Christmas tree lots. I'll just go in the backyard with a
Yeah.
chainsaw, and there you go.
Just cut it down.
If I chopped them down, they would be the perfect Christmas tree, so there you go.
I mean,
yeah.
y'all
Yeah.
trapped right between Mount Shasta and Lake Sprite. So I mean, you got all the choices in the world where you want to go.
First time I went to Wisconsin, I was just like, the only thing I kept saying is like, their Christmas trees are everywhere. This
awesome.
is crazy. And they're looking at me like, they're just trees. No, there's Fraser firs and spruces and
it's like when you go to Mexico and it's not Mexican food; it's just food.
it's just food, right? It's exactly it.
That's a good point.
You got it.
So another 1970s reference here is the tinsel tree. Okay, so the Contemporary Resort had this big giant Christmas tree, which basically was a tinsel tree, and it actually hung from the ceiling. It was 7 stories tall, and it was reported that when the Mark IV monorail went too fast through the Contemporary Resort, it would kind of shake. And a lot of people kind of refer this to the Poseidon tree, as if you guys ever seen the movie The Poseidon Adventure, it's that tree that's kind of upside down.
Yeah.
So that's basically kind of how it kind of looked similar in the Contemporary Resort.
That's a cool
So-
idea, though. It's different, modern, I guess.
Right. Kind of going with the theme.
Very
right,
sleek,
right.
yeah.
So-
No, it was a cool. I've seen it. I've seen pictures of it before. It's kind of cool. Have you seen there's one for the Grand Floridian too, where they did a poinsettia tree.
Yep.
Go ahead, Keith. Yeah, maybe you're going to talk about it.
It was, I think the Grand Floridian opened in '89, and I think they did it for probably about 5 or 6 years. It was basically a tree basically made out of different color poinsettias. So, the red, the whites, and whatever. And I mean, it kind of fit with the Grand Floridian, kind of the theme there, kind of the classic, look.
And the pattern like kind of swirled around it. It was really a unique looking thing.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, I just pulled up a picture of it, and it was like, wow, that's pretty neat.
I know it looks like a bunch of books or something.
Was it upside down too?
No, that one was straight up.
Oh, it's straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Now
So-
tell me, do you want a Christmas tree with poinsettias?
no, or do you just want it flocked?
But now I'm going to explain why now. So Disney had some live trees, and this basically lasted pretty much into the 90s. But when you have a live tree, you kind of have some issues.
Squirrels.
Oh, it's like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Besides, animals kind of climb up a tree and stuff like that. So obviously, Florida is prone to thunderstorms. So one time in the 1970s, this was actually on Christmas Eve, and this was actually reported by various cast members. I have this from various different sources, so it actually happened. So there were several storms going through Central Florida on Christmas Eve, and according to cast members, they heard a big crack, and then everyone rushed over to basically see what happens. So apparently lightning struck the Christmas tree in Main Street, and
it went back to the future.
That's what I was thinking.
They saw two trails of fires and a license plate dance in the middle of the road, Main Street.
Marty, it's a Christmas tree.
Gotta go
Marty.
back in time.
so what actually happened is like a big 6-foot part of the tree was just hanging there. So they kind of had to just clear the area and, leave it until closing. So it's like, hey, kids, look at that tree. Let's get a picture in front of the broken tree hanging down. So.
And then Bob Iger came out and started selling marshmallows to everyone.
That's awesome. Come take your picture by the burning tree. Have a marshmallow.
Gotta make the stockholders happy.
Got to make the stockholders
That's
happy.
right.
Extra went up extra 10%.
That's right.
That's right.
So of course, maintenance fixed the tree and basically,
How do you fix the tree?
Duct tape like you fix the branches, dude.
well, they put it into a steel sleeve and somehow reattach it by a crane. And then Christmas morning, people went to the parks and there was the perfect tree again. So
Oh, wow.
Damn, they go all
It's
out.
that magic, man.
That's industrious.
That's
Well,
Disney magic.
that's your Disney magic for it. Now, another time, this happened, another Christmas Eve. Now, this was 1983. So apparently there was an employee who was basically working Epcot Center Lagoon operations, walked by the American Adventure, and there was a big, beautiful Christmas tree in World Showcase Plaza right in front of the American Adventure. So the only problem is when the employee was kind of looking at the tree was lopsided. So what happened is one of the ground wires, which helped hold up the tree, came loose. So, imagine you're walking by and you're like, something doesn't look right with that tree. That was the year of the Epcot lopsided tree.
Can I tell you something? If you were drinking around the world, that tree would look perfectly fine.
The tree's talking to me. It's leaning down to talk to me.
Hey, Daddy, I'm in Greece. Take a picture.
Hurry up. Get a crane.
Oh, man. So the tree wouldn't stand up, so they gave it some Viagra.
They gave that Viagra Vika.
Yeah.
So due to some of those issues, eventually Disney said, maybe we should just go with the fake trees. This way it's just kind of more perfect. So, and ever since they've been doing the fake trees. So.
But all the oxygen that they missed out on by taking the real trees out.
I know.
Well, I thought maybe it would have had something to do with the fact that, deforestation and land and conserving, and I thought that may have been why they decided to make the switch. No.
I'm pretty sure the plastic fake trees that are non-biodegradable are worse than, something that can, at least you could throw it in a landfill or something.
Yeah, you could put it back and let it grow again.
Well, yeah, but
You can't put the tree back and let it grow.
Yeah,
you can't replant. You can't
You never
replant
had
it.
that happen. You have like a bush and the bush get knocked over and you put it back in the dirt, pack the dirt back on it.
Yeah, it works with vegetables.
It's a root.
Potatoes.
Like vegetables.
Saying that science experiment.
Yeah.
You can't just,
Well, they fixed the tree with a crane and metal sheathing and stuff. Like, what's...
You like the Dr. Frankenstein of botany, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how you bring that back.
Well, I figured the tree that got hit by lightning didn't come to life. I mean, that's what I thought.
Well,
was
they just
gonna
made him sit up straight again. It was like Weekend at Bernie.
happen. Shades on it.
Yeah.
They put two little trees to help them stand up on either side of them, right?
Little baby trees.
Yeah, little baby trees to hold them up.
Got the branch right around it.
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, 1983, right? So that year after they're open, all hell breaks loose.
Wow, that's
Got
crazy.
leading trees and everything.
Yep. So then in 1982, jumping back a year from 83, basically Epcot Center opened. So now Disney World had another park that they've had to decorate with, Christmas decorations and kind of figure out what they were going to do for, how are you going to take this futuristic place and decorate it for the holidays? So they're like, well, we can't really do that, but we have all these countries that are all around the world. We can feature those countries and talk about their holiday decorations and kind of celebrations and how they celebrate Christmas. So this started the international celebration that Epcot called for many, many years. They called it Holidays Around the World. This celebrated holiday traditions from various cultures expressed through music, decoration, stories, and food, with additional elements like the candlelight procession, which they moved over from the Magic Kingdom.
oh, it was the Magic Kingdom before?
Yeah, so from 1971 to, I believe it's 1994, candlelight procession was over at the Magic Kingdom.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was in front of the train station, and then in 94, before they got more popular over time, and they decided to move over to Epcot. It was part of that whole Epcot 94. Remember that?
Yeah, the World's Fair numbering.
Right. And before actually Candlelight Procession moved over, have you guys ever heard? So this was at Epcot Center between 1983 and 1994. There was a show called the Holiday Splendor Stage Show over at Epcot.
That was at the American Gardens Theater.
Yeah, this was over at American Gardens, but interesting is back then they called it American Gardens by the Shore, and I guess they eventually shortened the name just to be the American Gardens. So, and this was, your typical Christmas show. It had guest narrators and singers, and the main narrator for several years was Carol Lawrence, and the musical special celebrated winter holidays around the world, including Christmas, and this was just your musical version of holidays around the world.
Who's Carol Lawrence?
Wait, if you're curious, she was like the original Maria on Broadway in West Side Story.
Okay.
Long time ago.
All right.
Okay.
She got a nomination, Tonys and stuff. So.
I never played that video game, so I'm not sure how that
West
works.
Side Story.
Yeah.
West Side Connection story.
The boss level is pretty killer.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
You got to fight Ice Cube.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys remember? I don't know if you guys remember this or not, or if you were in Epcot. Do you remember those World Showcase double-decker buses they had?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going way back to the 80s and 90s. So apparently around Christmas time, they would drive around World Showcase and have the Disney characters in their Christmas gear.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. They used to have stops around World Showcase, and you can hop on, go to your whatever country you want to go.
Okay, cool.
And you didn't have to walk the entire thing. You could just. But it's gotten so busy that you can't even.
You'd be running people over.
Yeah, that's the tough part. But yeah, I remember those buses vividly. And then they repurposed those buses to be the Junkanoo bus. I don't know if you remember that little Jamaican show that
What
used
do
to
you
pop
call
out. It was called Junkanoo. They call it the
Junkanoo.
Junkanoo bus. Yeah, and so they had a whole Jamaican kind of Caribbean show that would pop out of it, and then they just drive off.
Where was that in Animal Kingdom or something?
No, this was in Epcot Center.
Yeah, that sounds something that would be over in the Animal Kingdom. Huh.
It wasn't.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never heard of that.
It should be though. Yeah.
Huh. So, over time, they started just as the park got older, they just kind of adding more things. So they had a massive Christmas tree, kind of like I talked about in '83. So every night there would be a tree lighting ceremony, and then around somewhere in the 90s, I couldn't pinpoint the exact year, they started adding storytellers in World Showcase during the holidays around the world. So you would go to Mexico, and it would be the Three Kings, or you would go to Germany, and there would be Helga talking about the first Christmas tree in Germany. So it would be a way to go to different countries and learn about their Christmas traditions.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the coolest things about Christmas at Epcot was all those different traditions, and you could learn about different cultures and things like that. I thought that was just, to me, that was amazing, just very interesting to me.
Well, and you figure out what traditions came from where, because I remember UK, they were the mistletoe and advent calendar, but then you'd go to Germany and they were doing I think we keep say the first tree and
Tannenbaum.
And I can't remember. I mean, it's been a while, but yeah, it was really cool to find out where each of these traditions originated from. And then you'd go over to Italy, and they'd have a witch. And she'd be a good witch, and she was the female Santa Claus.
Where's the Krampus come from?
Krampus?
Krampus?
Krampus
Comes around once a month.
And it's very mean. It's very mean.
But they only stays for a week. Oh boy,
very mean. Yeah.
Only a week? I've been lied to. Damn it.
Damn it.
She's on her third week of her period.
Damn you, Krampus.
He just won't leave.
I said, Krampus, stop us. It never.
Don't they have Krampus at Epcot? Don't they have a...
No,
really?
No.
That's what I'm saying. What country is that?
No, they
from,
had,
or
like I
whatever?
said, they had the witch, and the witch did something if you were bad. If you were good, she would leave you something. But if you were bad, she would
hunt you down.
I don't know, leave cold. I can't remember exactly how it went. It was kind of weird because it was almost like the Nightmare Before Christmas before there was a Nightmare Before Christmas. You had a witch delivering toys on Christmas. So
that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, but she was around before Santa Claus.
All right, that's fair, but is it okay?
It was just an Italy thing.
Yeah, and then they had then you have other countries which don't celebrate Christmas. So in China, you had the Monkey King, which talked about the Chinese New Year. And then in Morocco, you had talking about celebrations of Ramadan. So they tried to incorporate each of the countries and, talk about some kind of celebration, either being winter or Christmas. And then it pretty much stayed the same over time. And then in the mid 2000s, around 2010 and going forwards, it started getting a little bit more commercialized. So just to give you an example, so in 2016, they added a lot more merchandise. In American Adventure, they had Santa's Shopping Village. I don't remember that like in the early days when I was in the early 2000s going for Thanksgiving. And then in 2016, I don't know, good or bad, depending on how you look at it, this is when they started adding the holiday kitchens. So this is where holidays around the world started becoming more like the Food and Wine Festival.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I always like sampling new things that get you in the mood. Like I remember when we checked into, I mean, talk about the resorts a while back. When we checked into the Grand Floridian, we were walking to the entrance, and they were roasting chestnuts right there.
Oh, nice.
They had
Cool.
hot apple cider, and they gave that to you, and immediately it's putting you in the Christmas mindset. And then you walk in, and there's a pianist and the big tree and everything like that playing Christmas. So trying these different holiday themed foods, again, that also just helps put you in the mindset along with the decorations, the storytelling. So, I mean, yeah, it just helps you immerse you more in that world.
Yeah, so 2017, because they added these holiday kitchens, they've changed the name from Holidays Around the World to actually Epcot International Festival of the Holidays. And this featured 15 holiday kitchens, and these holiday kitchens would help celebrate, like Danny just said, Christmas and the winter holidays by giving you different flavors of the holiday season. And in 2019, now this idea actually I kind of like, they had a holiday cookie stroll where you could go to different countries and try different kind of holiday cookies, and they would give you a festival passport, and I guess they would stamp the different cookies. I think that's kind of a cool idea.
Yeah,
like
we got some agents right now in the parks that are they've posted some pictures of that, all the different cookies from each country and
That's
stuff like
great.
that. Yeah, it's cool. The poor thing is that, you know, first you had a job being Santa Claus, now you got to be in the kitchen. You know, it's like, damn it, it's like a step down.
Yeah, you're sitting there like, ho, 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 no, shut up! Shut up!
I'm cooking over here. That's all I got.
Job sucks, man.
Give me some chestnuts.
Hey, Lee, did anyone mention anything about Olaf's Holiday Tradition Expedition?
I think so. Yeah, I think someone posted some pictures of that.
So basically what it is, it's you spend about $10 and they give you a scavenger hunt map, and then you're supposed to go around to the different countries in World Showcase and I guess look for certain things, which I think is a cool idea for like little kids or whatever. I could see my son liking it.
What do you get if you get it all, though?
A warm hug.
A prize and a warm hug, right? So
Maybe get a fast pass. Who knows?
yeah, maybe if fast passes were around. So
Yeah, fast pass to use in
Use it next year.
you can be first in line, Timmy. Over at what is it? What are they building over there? Ratatouille.
you could be the first one. So changing gears now. So in the last show, we talked about the Osborne White. With the Osborne Whites ending in 2015, as was Ebenezer Scrooge before he changed his ways, Disney Hollywood Studios needed to change their ways as well. So the Osborne White's gone. Disney Hollywood Studios had a huge void, missing holiday decorations that needed to be replaced. So the solution they came up with was, you guys ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
What
Wait
you
on
got?
Jingle bell, jingle bam!
All up in your face.
Wow, man.
Jingle bell, jingle bell.
I think Emerald's gonna sue somebody.
Jingle
Bam
bell,
lamb.
jingle bam.
Oh, jingle bama, lamb bam bam. Oh, lamb bam, ram lamb. Oh, bam lamb.
Jingle bell.
Holiday tradition expedition.
That was.
So apparently, Epcot had holidays around the world. So Disney Hollywood Studios had what they call Flurry of Fun. And then part of this Flurry of Fun, which is just a generic name to encompass all the holiday, decorations and events going on at Hollywood Studios. And part of it was Jingle Bell, Jingle Bam. So this was a nighttime, well, it's still going on now. Not sure this year for COVID, but we'll talk about COVID and everything in the next episode. So this is a nighttime Christmas spectacular, which focused on the Graham's, Chinese theater. And Disney started using projections, laser and lights, special effects, fireworks, and Chris's music score.
That's the one with the elves, right?
Wayne and Lanny, the elves from Prep and Lanny.
Prep and
There you
Lanny.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. No. I remember seeing that coming out. I wasn't there when that was.
I was gonna say, did they punch each other out? Where does the bam come from?
Well, I actually just watched the show the other day, so actually I understand why they did it. Apparently, the older brother, it's just one of his things with his younger brother, and they just kind of he just says jingle bell, jingle bam, so they just kind of went with it. I guess it's pretty catchy. I guess
Yeah, no, it's catchy. I just thought he says bam, and like a firework go off, or they throw an elf off a roof or something. I didn't know where the bam came from. Just
Well, you threw some creepy Creole seasoning.
Yeah, and throw like what'd you call the other thing? A flurry of fun flurry?
Oh, so the Flurry of Fun is the generic name for like all that basically holiday celebrations. Flurry of Fun, so.
It sounds like attacking kittens or something.
Yeah, it was the McFlurry of Fun until they
Big flurry.
McDonald's stopped
Sponsoring.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Disney now has a relationship with McDonald's from the Happy Meal toy, so maybe they're able to get away with it. that way.
No, but those all got recalled. So
They screwed Kevin on the Mickey Railroad.
Hey,
Railway.
shh, Kevin's still healing.
I know I am.
Oh, I thought he was okay. I apologize.
It's all right.
Jingle bell.
So this was the replacement for the Osborne Lights. Now, I don't really think it has the big draw like Osborne Lights did, because Osborne Lights actually took you way back into the park. And this is kind of more just like seeing an illumination show. Like Osborne Lights was pretty much all night. This was just like, I think they maybe do it twice a night or whatever. But I guess, obviously they needed to come up with something. And it was a lot cheaper, do some projections and less fireworks. So now in 2017, they also added Sunset Season Greetings, which is kind of another version of
The Sunset Grill.
down at the Sunset Grill.
Trabajo.
Down at the Sunset Grill.
Bam,
So, you have the Hollywood Tower Hotel, which is a big icon over at Hollywood Studios. So they've started projecting different projections similar to the Tree Awakening show over at the Animal Kingdom onto the Hollywood Tower of Terror. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
freaky, man. I've seen that. Like they turn into a big
Like a present? Oh,
yeah,
It's like what are those called? The giant nutcrackers and what have you. I mean, it's
They turned the hotel into a present, you
Yeah,
said?
I saw videos on that. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. It's big.
Well, that's creative. I mean, it's not necessarily too interactive, right? But
I'm glad they're using all this projection stuff and everything. It just it kind of feels like they're overdoing it. Like you remember, like when you got the first motion simulator, and then every ride thereafter was a motion simulator. It's like, calm down.
like 3D movies.
You're right.
Like every movie that comes out.
Well,
that
those
summer
were all good though.
We can put it anywhere, and it's upgradable so easy. We ain't got to do anything with the infrastructure.
and we bought it in bulk.
It's a flurry of fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jingle bam, baby lamb.
Like, pay attention to projections. Never mind that you get 80% less fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, at least they're not putting up like inflatables and saying theirs are holiday decorations,
Hey, that's what I do in my house.
Well, I mean,
You want to see that at Disney World, you know what I mean? So,
well, it's a kind of a low bar you just set, but okay.
right. So then, Toy Story Land opened up a couple years ago, and it's kind of cool that they actually did make over that land. They put special festive audio and special holiday lighting. So I haven't heard anything if they did anything for Star Wars Land, and we can touch more on that, on the Disney World Ghost of Christmas Future episode as well, kind of what we think they're going to do there. So, but that's pretty much the Hollywood Studios Christmas that you can see right now if you went down to Orlando. So
I would say that probably the one thing I miss of everything is the Osborne Lights. I mean, that was
I did like that. You could really take your time, meander through there, really soak it all in.
They had the hot chocolate, and they had people performing. It was cool.
It was more Christmas.
It was lights. It was
it's Christmas
It was
lights.
simple. It was simple. It was elegant, and generally, like again, like kind of what Keith was saying before about inflatables. Like you drive by somebody's house, you'll see inflatables.
That's so lazy. I'm sorry, kid. That's so lazy.
I know
It is really.
No,
like,
I fully admit that's so easy.
the best of displays are the traditional light-filled displays.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
There's something about that.
Beautiful.
So let's shift gears and head over to the Animal Kingdom. So
Not the zoo.
Sure thing, Lightning McQueen. Shift gears.
bam.
Animal Kingdom's kind of a challenge because of the animals as far as Hollywood decorations. So if you really think about it, a lot of the decorations.
those strapping Christmas hats on all the lines.
While the lions
there you
trying to
go.
take a piss on the Christmas trees.
You see them on the safari, they're all wearing Christmas hats and stuff like that.
Got some cast members' arm hanging out their mouth.
Cast member got killed, eaten by a lion trying to put a Christmas hat on him.
Oh, look, he's got a stocking. No, it's a foot.
Nah, that's all projection mapping.
That's it.
All those hats are fake.
That's a furry flurry. Right? That's it.
That's a whole different convention.
That's it. Like Christmas in joke. I know Keith is gonna take it where he's gonna take it, but Christmas in like animals just, I
It really, it kind of doesn't. But maybe they'll be like your house. Like they'll put like Christmas sweaters on them. You put them on your dog.
They put it on, they got the little arms that come out.
The Yeti's kind of
Christmas sweaters. That's Clark Griswold.
No, he's holding like mistletoe as you pass by. Oh my god,
that'd be funny. But it's so I like what they do because it's like the one like of all the trees, like if you go to Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, they all look the same. All the trees look the same. Whereas you go to the resorts, they're all themed to each of the resorts. Animal Kingdom actually has its own unique tree where the ornaments are all like animals and whatnot, and it really is something special to see.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, like the ornaments are made of wood. They're kind of themed to nature, and it's interesting because the Animal Kingdom, their Christmas tree, their 60-foot tall tree, is actually at the entrance and not actually inside the park, unlike the other Christmas trees at all the other parks. So it's before you kind of go in. So, and if you also think about the Animal Kingdom history, up until a couple years ago, they closed at 5 or 6 at night. So there really was no reason to really have nighttime lights or whatever because the park wasn't open that late.
Oh, that makes sense because the front is like the last place you close, so people can hang out by the tree on their way out. I dig that.
The only thing they really had is over at when it was open, Camp Mini Mickey had, special holiday character meet and greets. And the only other thing they really had, except for, minor decorations in the park, a little bit around Discovery Island, is they took the Animal Kingdom Jamming Jungle Parade and they gave it a holiday makeover during the holidays and called it Mickey's Jingle Jungle Parade.
Oh,
you guys remember this?
That song is still stuck in my freaking head. Jamming in the jungle. Da, 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 da.
Welcome to the jungle. We got chestnuts and apple cider.
It was like when Eli and me and the family, we went to Disney and we stayed at the Polynesian for Christmas, and they were playing. It was just on this endless loop, this Christmas music over, and I just remember this one song. Here comes Santa on a red balloon, and it was it would just drive me nuts. It was and they'd have cool Hawaii Polynesian music, I guess you'd say, periodically, but that one song would just kind of make my because
it's like Mariah Carey.
Yeah,
like that's the one song every year. You're like, damn it, I gotta hear this song again.
You hear it once, and it's embedded in your brain, and you cannot remove it. Like again, from that trip, that's probably one of 5 things I remember.
You need a lobotomy to get it out.
There you go.
Wow.
Kind of like It's a Small World.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, you don't have to hear it that much, and boom, it's right there. It's like what is it? The Once Upon a Christmas Time at Christmas. Like whenever they do the parades, they are geniuses at picking out those catchy songs where you hear it, and by the time you walk out of there, you will never forget that song. Boot to you and boot boom, it's stuck in your head.
So everything changed at the Animal Kingdom holiday decorations in 2019. So, like I said, before then they were very muted. But in 2019, and I haven't been there since, but from what I heard, that the new decorations are actually very creative. So they started off basically in the area leading up to Discovery Island and the Tree of Life. Apparently they have animal-themed illuminated lanterns hanging from the rooftops.
Very
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very nice.
I thought you were going to say they put ornaments on the Tree of Life.
No, that would be cool though, but yeah. Can you imagine giant ornaments on the Tree of Life?
Big ornaments.
No, they wouldn't do that. But that vaginal plant over in Avatar Land, they totally trimmed that tree.
Yeah.
Give it Brazilian wax.
Yeah, making balls.
No, they got silver tinsel going around its mouth.
Put tinsel, yeah.
They totally trimmed the tree of trim.
We'll talk about Pandora in a minute, but so these lanterns were basically featuring animals affiliated with Christmas and winter holidays. And Discovery Island featured a holiday gathering of winter animals, and they converted, kind of like they did in 2000 with Reflection to Earth Parade. They took these giant puppets, and these puppets in the form of different winter animals such as reindeer, foxes, penguins, polar bears, and more. So, so at any time you could be in Discovery Island at certain times and you see these giant animal puppets. That's kind of cool, I think.
It's cool and freakish at the same time because all of a sudden, these people will come over and they're operating because I saw they're operating like a polar bear, but it's all like connected to their body, and so you got kids walking over and petting the polar bear, which is attached in some way to their person, and it's cool to see it, but then when you see the kids starting to try and interact with it, it's like kind of gets freakish in a way. But I remember seeing that and being in Florida because it was beautiful at first. Yeah.
And going back to the holiday projections, so they have the Awakening show over at the Tree of Life. So they actually added 3 new stories and one soundtrack about animals for a snowfall. So they're trying to, kind of change it up a little bit for the holidays. So that's kind of neat as well.
Yeah, they had projected images of Robin Williams and Robert De Niro. It's pretty good.
You projected me. You projected me.
Then Robin Williams does this thing and the tree comes to life. It's amazing. Then it slowly fades over the night and it's back to being a tree again.
Yeah. Wow, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
So, and then so you have Pandora. You were talking about Pandora before. So how do you decorate this future planet? Well, not future planet, but planet. So
everybody goes blue.
Not future planet, but planet of the future.
Yeah, right. So they have supposedly expats who live there, and they kind of supposedly took items from Earth as well as items they found on the planet and kind of created these various decorations that you see in Pandora.
I want some pictures of that. I want to see that. Lee, can you get some agents to take some pictures down there?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll reach out.
Yeah, I want to see that.
And then the last land we have is Dino Land. So with Dino Land, there's, what else would you have in Dino Land but a dance party? So you have the holiday hoopla dance party with Chip and Dale, and I'm sure there's a dinosaur thrown in there or, whatever. And then the last thing they did for the holidays is they take the, the bird show.
Oh, yeah. The one they wrecked?
What, Flights of Wonder?
Yeah, well, no, now it's the Great Up Bird Adventure of all time.
The little toy kid,
little bird
walks around.
Yeah. So because it's in Asia, they talked about a little bit the holiday festival of lights in India, Diwali. So they kind of added that to the show a little bit, and it's kind of cool. So
that's kind of cool. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing a Dino Party USA. That'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, sorry, Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, part of the Tyrannosaurus. That would be interesting.
You'd be down with that.
I mean, dinosaurs
party. You go dance. You cut a rug
with a dinosaur.
Yeah, you walk like a dinosaur.
Oh, he has dated some dinosaurs.
I know. One lifted my truck.
You're welcome.
That was a Triceratops.
I think that was an Indominus Rex.
Yeah, that was definitely not a plant eater. Absolutely not. Totally not. I think she had Krampus too.
My man.
Big thick ankylosaurus.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
All right. So let's talk about now I think this is a cool thing. So in the last couple years, let's talk about Disney World attraction holiday layovers or makeovers, overlays.
Oh yeah,
makeovers. Okay.
Got layover at the airport.
Yeah.
Hey, West Tower Banks.
So Disneyland has actually been doing this for years. So they started in 1997 with they did a overlay of It's a Small World. And then I don't know if Danny, you ever seen this, but in 2001 they have the Haunted Mansion Holiday, which is the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay.
Yeah, I have tried so many times to time our vacation in line with that. It's never worked out.
I want to see that.
But yeah, no, that's on the bucket list.
So the only problem is these overlays shut down the attractions for, several months. And, Disneyland is basically a lot of locals. So, locals are looking for new things to see. But if you have somebody coming to Disney World who's there every 5 years, they don't want to go and find out, oh, sorry, but the Haunted Mansion shut down, for 3 months due to, an overlay. So that's why they never really happened.
3 months would be a breeze for them right now.
Oh, you know what? Them. We want our overlays, damn it. I'm so tired of hearing that. Like, it's like, well, so what? Like, you have the information like everybody else does. Just plan your vacation around the overlays.
That's a good point.
It's like, it ain't like there ain't that internet or something you can look up.
Well, why not just ship all the overlay decorations to Disney World and give people, because now it's the only one that's open. They're not open full time now, so that you got time to install that stuff.
Do it overnight. You can do it in the nighttime.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, they ship freaking trees from out west.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
They might as well ship that stuff out west.
I don't know. Like, I always hear that, and it's like, to me, that's just the lamest excuse. It's like, dude, you can't have the same thing. Like, that's like me saying, well, I'm mad because the Osborne lights aren't there anymore. Well, there's something else there, Go see something else. Like, okay, you can't ride Haunted Mansion this time. Go ride, whatever, do something else, and then or plan better and be there once the overlay's done.
I was gonna say they're pretty good about letting you know what's open and what's closed when you're gonna be going, unless you're booking like so far out in advance, which I never do.
That's why you have a travel agent, Lee.
That's exactly it.
You can just call them up and last minute, hey, I need to book a trip.
And I'll be like, hey, dude, well, so and so's closed and this is closed, but this is open. Okay, well, let's go. All right, cool.
When I hear that, wait, really? I'm in the car. This isn't a joke, right? You're serious? You really want to do? Okay, let me pull over.
Yeah. Let me get out my Wi-Fi, my hotspot. Let's do it.
That conversation's happened so many times. I have it committed to memory.
And then wait a minute. Let me get my mom on the line real quick.
Yeah,
I got Aaron over here too, and then, like, we got to have a conference call. Like 20 people yelling questions at me.
Yes.
So the first holiday overlay they actually did was in the 80s, which was the Country Bear Christmas show, and we're gonna in another episode go and talk about the history of the Country Bear. So we'll kind of talk about that another point in time.
I am looking forward to that.
So the first real holiday overlay they had was in 2013. This was the Jingle Cruise.
Oh, Kevin and I rode that.
Yeah, well, you did ride
What
that.
you guys think?
It's different.
I mean, all it is basically they come up with some, corny holiday jokes, and they did a slight overlay saying the Jungle Cruise skippers are trying to cheer themselves up for the holidays while they're away from their families. But I mean, it was okay,
I didn't mind it. I mean, but like I remember, like, oh, dude, we're here. Jingle Cruise is open. Let's go see it, and being like, oh, okay, well, that's not anything to really make a point to come back for. But it's cool that we got to see it.
We got to see it. We did experience it.
Yeah. I mean, it's Disney trying something different, which is kind of cool. The next one, actually, I haven't seen, but I think it's kind of cool. Once again, Disney just kind of trying something different. So over at Epcot, they kind of did a Christmas overlay for Living with the Land. They call it Living with the Land, Merry and Bright Nights, and
6 people saw it.
Well, they had special lighting, have snowmen made out of sands, Mickey topiaries, and decorations and vegetables decorated for the holidays.
Decorating vegetables?
Yeah, they put a hat on that eggplant.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the scientists in there were dressed as elves. It was really nice.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you saw it?
No.
Oh, he did not.
I bet you they still had hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Hooked on phonics.
Christmas phonics.
Chris phonics.
Hanukkah phonics.
Kwanzaa phonics.
Pentatonics.
Oh,
Gin and tonics.
Yeah, gin.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
They tried everything. I mean, like, okay, so far, Keith, is there anything that you said that you would like to have, like, embellished on more if there was, like, from what you've already seen or you know what I mean? Because most of the stuff towards the end, it sounds like they're not really trying. They just, they just
slap something on there.
Yeah, that's the impression that I get.
Let me go through a couple of these other Elis, and a lot of these are just changing lighting and basically adding some holiday music. They did an overlay with the Speedway, so they added some Christmas lights and special lighting, some holiday music. They did some special lighting and some holiday tunes on Space Mountain, and then they did the same thing with the Mad Tea Party, just adding some special lighting and music. I mean, it's making something a little bit different, but kind of a little bit on the cheap.
Yeah, they did the same thing for Halloween when they did all that.
Right.
They made adjustments to all the exact same rides because they were cheap and easy to go ahead and do. I like it. I like that they're trying it. Is it something elaborate? No, but it gives you a little bit of something like, oh wow, I'm glad we kind of saw this version of it.
And it's gets you in the Christmas mood.
Well, but wait, time out. Back up a second. Is all that stuff in the Tomorrowland Speedway enough for you to go on that ride again?
Oh, no.
No, but if you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I got to see a Christmas tree.
It definitely goes slow enough that you can
You can enjoy it.
for Christmas. Absolutely. You can see Santa and all the reindeer.
Count all the decorations on the tree.
Oh, sure.
You can count the individual lights.
You can figure out which one's a Fraser fir, which one is flocked, anything.
a Douglas fir.
A poplar fir.
A Michael Douglas fir. Pretty good tree.
A fur
to
baby?
get. Yes. You can see the Dino Dance Party, all that. This thing's going so slow there. I guess it's a thing of they just trying, but I would just hope that they would say, okay, you know what? We got something that sticks, and they would actually put some creativity to it, not just some lights. I don't know. That's just me. I was trying to feel
A big candy cane.
You know what though? Like if maybe that's a good point.
Candy cane?
Well, like you say, you make a different character of your own that and you just say, hey, look, yeah, there's.
Wait, you want to make a Christmas character?
Well, yeah, like
Very geisha Christmas.
So you want Joanne the Christmas Muse?
Guano Joe, Home Alone.
boat alone. Yeah, Adventure Club in Christmas. Talking about they hunted down Santa Claus or something.
Oh shoot, that's gone, baby. Now.
I know, but you see what I'm saying? The point is they were making characters during that time, so like
Well, maybe instead of the Grinch, I'll have the Grunch. The Grunch. Make them. It'll be Benny Grunch, and he's
Benny
singing the
Grunch.
12 Yats of Christmas.
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think I want Joanne the Christmas Moose.
Joanne the Christmas. Go for it, man. Why
See,
not?
as you start to say, like, because then you have something better to look forward to on Christmas and that particular.
Well, you go in the park, you're like, "Where's Joanne?
Yeah,
Where that moose at?
I didn't see Juwan last year. Where's
Damn.
Juwan this year?
I can't find the dude."
Come on now, don't do us like that.
The moose is sneaking around between the buildings and stuff.
Hide behind the trees.
You hear sleigh bells, ching, 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 ching.
Meanwhile, he's just hanging on his head's hanging on the wall of the country bears.
Why not? It's better than just a light, but okay. That's just me.
I think they got enough characters there. I don't think we need any more characters. I think I understand your point of really doing a concrete Christmas overlay, like something that really they get in there and they create something special. But I don't have a problem with tweaking light. I mean, it's not like they're asking people to pay for it, right?
Well, that's fair. I mean, and maybe you could go on the lamb and saying since they're doing all the stuff with projections and whatnot, and that's more for the kids, not for us as older people, but like maybe the kid is like, oh yeah, cool. I love projections. Me, I'm like, hey, it's cool, but then I just look away because it's the same projection.
All right, Keith, get us out of this.
Yes. So that's basically, Disney trying just different things, with different attractions, and, who knows what they'll be doing in the future. And speaking of the future, that's going to be our next episode.
Oh,
What? Nice segue there, Keith.
Ghost of Christmas Future. And on the next show, we're going to discuss what COVID hijacked, Christmas items that you can't see currently in the parks. And then we're going to take a look at the future of, Christmas at Disney World and do a little Imagineering and kind of think what, Disney's going to have in years to come.
I think we just did Joanne the Christmas.
I like it.
I like Joanne.
That's a whole show right there. We're
Juwan
good.
Christmas, baby.
This is,
Juwan Christmas.
We're gonna Imagineer Imagineer
Yeah.
Christmas or the holiday season over at Disney World.
You work
right.
on that, I'll work on the Grunch.
There you go. What are you two guys gonna do? What were y'all guys gonna do?
I'm going to do the Krampus. Gives you free tampons. Puts tampons in your stocking. In my doll.
Yes. I'm going to redo Dino Christmas Party.
Oh, you're all about the Christmas
I'm
party.
going to have my ex-girlfriend come out and help me.
Well, shoot, my car's stuck outside. It doesn't.
That dinosaur's called Eat a Lot of Lunch.
Keith, what are you gonna make, man?
What am I going to make? I don't know. I have to think about it. So,
Yeah, well, we got some time.
Catch you next week.
and that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Well, man, thanks for letting us know about the Ghost of Christmas Present. Lots of information. Make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe for the Ghost of Christmas Future. And if you want to get in touch with us to share your opinions or your experiences that took place in the holiday season at whatever Disney park you attended, we're going to tell you how to get in touch with us in just a little bit. Guys, we hope you enjoyed that discussion. If you want to learn more about us, magicourway.com is the way to go. There you'll find our social media links, past episodes, and more. You can also get in touch with us in the following ways to share your opinions and your holiday stories in the parks. You can shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com, leave us a voicemail via our SpeakPipe widget on our homepage, or you can call or send us a text message. Yes, I did today. Text us at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That's 1-815
Weekend.
669-4226. And of course, we have a couple guys do things outside of the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. You're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics, Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com, comic book guru, Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com right now. Liefeld out.
That's right. You heard that guru talk about another guru. That is me. Yes, sir. You can always check out the work that
Who
I
the
have.
guru?
I'm the guru.
You the guru?
What? For true?
What that guru do?
Yeah, that guru do all that good stuff you see do.
Got your Google?
What's that voodoo the guru do?
He do all that. He do good savages. Read that for free. Project Gaze, you check that out. Molly B. Dave, you can check that out. There's a link to this podcast so you never miss an episode. You get all that. That's what we do. All about that for you.
Yabba dabba do.
Well, what? You can also find me on Facebook.com, Eli Ivory, as long as you're a real person. How I do to you. But if you're a bot, skibbity dappity do to you, I would say. Project Geisha, you can check that out. Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram right there. Posting up the likes and everything like that. eIvory504. You can find me there. And of course on Twitter, you can find me at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, you just bring me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And if you want to book a vacation at some point to visit any of these parks to view their holiday decorations, you can do so through Lee. Lee, tell them how to do this.
You still got time. You got about 2 or 3 weeks, and you can get out there and see that Christmas stuff. See what the ghost of Christmas present for yourself.
Call Lee and ask for that Danny special.
That's right. Call me and be like, I want to go tomorrow. And be like, damn it. All right, let's go.
Gonna be $5,000.
Call my wife and cancel dinner plans.
Yeah. Guess my Taco Bell's going to be eating cold tonight. But just give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832 flock you, buddy. 832 FLKYOU. You can email me at lee@magicourway.com. Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/Lastovica Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you can find me at You Got a Friend in Lee Travel. And if you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with no
Flockavica.
Waka Flocka.
Flocka Rocka.
And Professor X, man, is there any place you want the listeners to find you if they want to follow your happenings and stuff?
They could find me on Twitter at Disney Thanksgiving.
Disney Thanksgiving.
Oh, man, you got to change that, dude. It's got to be...
I changed it to Disney Holidays.
Yeah, you go. That's it.
Holodude.
Oh!
Disney Holodude.
You better run out and trademark that.
I got to go do
Copyright.
that right now.
Disney
Talk
Holiday.
about a dude, talk about a holiday.
Yeah, but thanks for coming up on the show, man, and we're looking forward to having you at least once a month on the show, just to kind of give us some history and happenings and things
a week
to talk
off.
about. A week off. Yeah,
All that.
There you go.
It's going to be awesome, man. I definitely appreciate it. So we're looking forward to our next show when we do the Ghost of Christmas feature. And look, guys, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole, and you can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to take a second and thank you for being a loyal listener, and we love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are welcome on the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohegans, ladies and gentlemen, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
I'm Danny.
Magic out!
I have every intention of eating those bananas for breakfast, but I still somehow end up
Peanut
with
butter
tacos.
and grape jingle jam. In addition to my 12 pairs of shoes, I also pack Mad Hatter Radio in my suitcase.
Those are your emergency Mad Hatter Radio
My
shoes.
emergency Mad Hatter